1,000 years ago, a people emerging from the icy seas of the north made the heart of Europe tremble. They were warriors, traders, seafarers, and at times heroes, at times a terrifying nightmare. To some, they were barbarians. To others, representatives of a courageous civilization. This is the story of a people lost in the mists of history, yet whose legends still live on. The Vikings. Where does the word Viking come from? The word Viking originates from the Old Norse word vikingur, meaning one who goes on a sea expedition or raider. However, this definition only captures one aspect of who they were. The Vikings were Scandinavian peoples who launched expeditions to many parts of Europe from the 8th to the 11th centuries. So, why did they embark on these expeditions? Population growth, lack of arable land, search for trade and wealth to gain social status, and perhaps the call of destiny. To be a Viking wasn't just about fighting. It was about exploring the world and living with courage. The Vikings' greatest weapon wasn't the sword nor the axe. Their greatest strength was their longships. These ships were lightweight, able to navigate even rivers, fast and resistant to storms, powered by both oars and sails. Thanks to these vessels, they attacked England, reached Byzantium via rivers in Russia, crossed the Atlantic Ocean to reach Greenland, and even the American continent. The Vikings weren't just warriors, they were an organized society. Their social structure included Jarl, the noble, ruling class; Carl, free farmers and artisans; Thrall, slaves. Everyone had a place in society. They had justice systems, public assemblies, known as thing, and unwritten laws. Matters such as marriages, property, and disputes were resolved in these assemblies. And yes, women also had a say. Women in Viking society were considered quite free. They could own property, had the right to divorce. Some even participated in battles as shield maidens. They managed the household economy and engaged in trade. Furthermore, many archaeological findings show that women's graves contained jewelry, weapons, and luxury goods. This highlights their significant social importance. The Vikings were both ruthless and cunning in battle. They employed rapid assaults, blitz-style attacks, surprise night raids, agility thanks to their light armor tactics designed to demoralize the enemy. Their weaponry included axes, especially the Dane axe, swords, which were highly valued, round shields, spears, and arrows. As for the myth of horned helmets, it's completely fabricated. Archaeological evidence shows that their helmets were plain. The world of the Vikings was filled with gods. Among them were Odin, god of wisdom and war; Thor, god of thunder and strength; Freya, goddess of love and war; Loki, symbol of trickery and chaos. The Vikings believed their gods watched over them at all times. Death wasn't the end for them. If they died bravely, they would feast at Odin's table in Abi Valhalla. They also held the belief in Triut Ragnarok, the apocalypse, which signified the universe would be destroyed in a cycle only to be reborn. The Vikings didn't just raid, they also established settlements, like in Iceland, Greenland, and Britain, engaged in agriculture, practiced fishing, founded trading towns. For example, Hedeby and Birka. Their homes were typically longhouses, large, single-room wooden structures. Inside, a hearth, animals, and the family would all share the same space. The Vikings were among the Poito's bravest explorers of their age. Leif Erikson reached the American continent, Vineland, from Greenland. In the east, they laid the foundations of Kievan Rus. They served as mercenaries for the Byzantine Empire. Varangian Guard. The Vikings didn't just bring war. They also carried knowledge, culture, and trade. The Viking Age came to an end in the 11th century. Why? The influence of Christianity spread, leading to a shift in beliefs and societal structures. Centralized authority was established by kingdoms across Europe, making large-scale raids more difficult. Europe improved its defenses, making Viking expeditions less successful and more dangerous. Viking raids became economically risky, with diminishing returns and increased opposition. However, the Vikings didn't vanish. Their culture, languages, and legacy continued to thrive in Northern Europe. The Vikings were not just warriors of the past, they were also among humanity's bravest explorers and one of its most unique cultures. Today, their descendants keep their historical legacy alive, and we still speak of their legends. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us your favorite Viking god in the comments.